Looking for a powerful way to visualize complex data hierarchies? Today I'm going to show you how to master Treemap chart in Excel. Hi, I'm Mihir Kamdar, your tutor at officetechskill.com, where we specialize in helping professionals upgrade their tech skills to enhance productivity and efficiency in the workplace. You can download the file from the description. The topics we are going to cover in this section will start by discussing the definition and the purpose of Treemap chart, benefits of using a Treemap chart, then we'll create one, then we'll customize the chart, we'll identify the trends and patterns. We'll also learn how to make comparisons between different categories in a tree map chart, and finally, we'll discuss the tips for using a tree map chart effectively. A tree map chart is a data visualization tool that displays the hierarchical data using nested rectangles of varying sizes or colors. Each rectangle represents a category or subcategory with the size chart area of the rectangle proportion to the value it represents. The format, chart area, and the color of the rectangles can also be used to represent an additional dimension of the data, such as performance or growth. Tree map charts are particularly useful for visualizing large, complex dataset in a compact and intuitive format. It identifies the relative importance or contribution of each data category. It also helps in comparing values across different levels of hierarchy. It also spots patterns, trends, and outliers quickly and easily. There are several benefits of using the tree map chart. The first one is its efficient use of space. Treemap chart can display large amount of data of hierarchical data in a compact and visually appealing format, making them ideal for dashboards or presentations. Relative comparison. So by using the size and the color of rectangle to represent the data values, Treemap chart allows to easily compare relative importance or contribution of each category or subcategory. The nested structure of the tree map chart makes it easy to identify patterns, trends, and outliers within the data, helping you quickly spot areas that require further investigation or action. The drill down capability. Many tree map chart tool, including Excel, allows the user to drill down into a data by clicking on a rectangle to reveal more detailed information or subcategories. So now let us go to Excel and create a tree map chart. So over here, the first level of data that we have is the region. So which is the first level of hierarchy, and the second level of hierarchy is the country. So we want to display the data at the first level of hierarchy, which is the region, and then we want to display the data at a country level. So now let us select the data, go to insert, click on the tree map chart, and now you can expand this chart. Let's discuss how you can customize this chart. So in order to customize, you can select the chart title and also select the data labels. You can also change the position of the legend. So either if you want on the top, bottom, you can select any one of these options. So we'll name the chart. We'll provide a chart name for the chart title. We'll call this as sales by country. You can also change the style by hovering over any particular style that you prefer. You can also change the layout. Now, if you want to further customize, you can just simply go to format. If you want to show the values over here, you can just simply click on the, go to label options and also show the value, which is the revenue. You also have the option to show the first level of hierarchy over here. You wouldn't know exactly. If you look at the legend, yes, then you can identify what is the first level of hierarchy. If you want to explicitly display the first level of hierarchy on the top, you can just simply click on the series revenue and then you can select banner, and this will show the first level of hierarchy for each region. Next, we want to identify trends and patterns. So you want to examine the relative size of the rectangle. Larger the rectangle represents the categories or subcategories with a higher value, indicating the importance of the contribution to the whole. So in this case, in Europe, you see Serbia has the highest rectangle because it has the highest revenue. Then you have San Marino, then you have Latvia, then you have Albania. Same thing in Sub-Saharan Africa, you see Benin has the highest value or the highest revenue. That's why it has a higher rectangle. Within each region, you will find the size of the rectangle will change depending on the number for the revenue. Next is you want to look for patterns in the arrangement of the rectangles. So are there clusters of similar size rectangles, or do certain categories consistently have larger or smaller rectangles across different levels of hierarchy? You also want to pay attention to the outliers. Are there any rectangles that are significantly larger or smaller than the others in their category or subcategory? This may represent anomalies or areas that may require further investigation. Let's discuss how you can make comparisons. So compare the size of the rectangles. How do the subcategories within a given category compare to each other in terms of their value or contribution? So in Europe, you want to compare what is the size of the rectangle. So if you enable the revenue number, this will clearly help you easily distinguish the difference between these two rectangles by looking at the value or looking at the revenue number. Next, you want to compare the size of the rectangles across categories, so across regions in this case. How do the values or contribution to different categories compare to each other? So as you see, Europe has the highest number of boxes compared to Australia and Oceania, for example. Now let us discuss some tips for using the tree map charts effectively. So you want to choose the appropriate level of detail. You want to avoid overcrowding the tree map chart with too many levels of hierarchies or small rectangles that are difficult to read. So you want to strike the balance between sufficient detail and maintain clarity and readability. So in our case, we just had two levels of hierarchy, which is the region and the country. So I think two levels of hierarchy are good enough to give the user a good perspective of how the data looks, and they can easily spot any trends and patterns. If you add a third level of hierarchy, it would become too crowded and it won't provide any value. Next, you want to use the meaningful labels and colors. So you want to label the title. Also, you want to include the legend so people can easily identify what each color of the rectangle represents, or what region it represents, or what categories it represents. Next, you want to make sure the color across all the tree map chart shows some contrast. So in this case, this was the default color, which is a good enough starting point. But you want to further customize it, you can select the chart and you can choose the color by using the shape fill, or you can use the color palette. Next, if you want to provide further context or interpretation, you can include descriptive titles, which we have done. You can include caption or you can include annotation to tell the story behind your tree map chart. So there you have it, your tutorial on mastering Excel tree map charts. And before you go, I have a special offer for you. If you found this tutorial helpful and want to dive deeper into mastering Excel, check out my free Excel course. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips and tutorials. And drop in the comments below, how are you planning to use the Excel tree map chart for your data?